Chase for the championships in the AVP League 2025. Men's and women's titles as well as the AVP League Cup. As our standings are updated now, LA picking up yet another win. Palm Beach also looking very strong in the season cup standings. This will be determined as we get down to the end of the year. We just kicked off the second half. The men coming up now, Miami taking on Palm Beach. Give me the top line difference maker in this one, Rich Lamborn.
Well, it's going to have to be the serve of Miami if they hope to take on, to triumph over the Palm Beach Passion, because the Palm Beach Passion have the greatest of all time on their side of the net. He's got the lining on his shorts with the GOAT. He's the best to ever do it on the sand. They're going to have to serve tough, Kevin.
All right, Phil Dalhauser getting ready. His partner, Trevor Crabb, about to face off for the second time this season with Miami.
The guys for the Passion and the Mayhem to be followed by the guys for the Smash and the Launch. This is day number 1 and 2 for the LA League event here with the AVP. Tomorrow night we'll be here at 5 o'clock, 5 to 9 is the schedule tomorrow.
LA crowd inside the Intuit Dome awaiting our men's match, about to take the sand. Trevor Crabb, Phil Dalhauser taking on Kane Schulk and James Shaw here in Inglewood, California. The Miami side will be up first, getting ready to come on out. Kane Schulk, the veteran at 39 years old. He's picked up a 31-year-old partner who's got a lot of growth yet on the beach.
Yeah, we call that a youngster these days. I mean, he has a long indoor career, but newish to the sand and just really starting to make his mark. We talked about serving being so important. They have the big option game as part of their offense. You see some of his stats there.
James Shaw picking up a lot of points in each set, 21 between all the different skills, blocks, kills, and service aces. 6'8", perhaps the prototype guy you want to bring to the beach. Top-level pro setter and opposite. He's bringing the size, power, and skills to impact a match.
And in this jumpy sand, look for some heavy artillery from James Shaw.
Indeed, the sand might get some pockmarks here. James Shaw, a study in longevity and excellence at 39, continued to grow into this new partnership. Said he's added passing tempo and setting tempo to his repertoire. As we look at their opponent, Phil Dalhausser, of course, legendary player worldwide, alongside Trevor Crabb, who's become the sneakiest legend around, perhaps.
Yeah, he's kind of the quintessential competitor in the sense that he likes to stir the pot, get a little chatter going, and then go out and back it up.
Trevor Crabb, four-time Manhattan Beach Open champion, who doesn't mind wearing the black hat. He doesn't need your approval or your validation, Rich Lamborn. And displayed some pretty good toughness last time these two teams met. Kind of an old school mentality. Torn quad did not stop him. Restrained quad. Phil Dalhausser, his partner, the most physically imposing beach volleyball player in American history, who proved he still possesses a reservoir capable of dominating any match.
Well, anytime he steps on the court, you have to be worried about what Phil's capable of, because he's not going to go out there and embarrass himself, certainly. Palm Beach Passion winning the compression floor early here in this one.
Here's Phil on the challenge posed by Miami.
It was a nice win for us, beating Miami. I'm sure they're going to want revenge, so they'll come out hot, and hopefully we can handle that burst, and then just kind of steady them out and take the win again.
It was a command performance from this man right here. 25 kills, just 3 errors, 2 aces, and 2 blocks.
As understated as he can be in interviews, he is far from that on the volleyball court.
James Shaw right to it on 2, hitting through the fingertips of Phil Dalhausser.
That's going to be a challenge in this one for the Palm Beach Passion. You know, Trevor Crabb, more of a tactical server. Phil can light it up. We'll have to see what tactic he employs from the service line, but you can't just give easy balls to the Miami Mayhem.
Yeah, Phil saying that they're dictated a little bit by their serve. Tough one here finds Trevor Crabb on the right side, and he will chip the ball down the line. Nobody nearby.
Something to pay attention to. We talked about that good serve, and you can see the pace on the serve of James Shaw, but if it goes right in the lap of Trevor Crabb, he's going to deal with that with relative ease all night. So you got to find some space.
Phil was finding some space last time out in Miami, picking up those aces with a whole bunch of other trouble as well. Right to Kame, shoot set. Phil's there the first time. His partner's there the second. Show him. Left side cannot go over Trevor. 6'5", stretched out. And a net violation is going to take that one away. Let's go down to Cameron Irwin on the sand with more on Trevor Crabb.
Yeah, Kevin and Rich, I was hoping to give you a positive injury update for Trevor Crabb. You might remember back in Miami, he was dealing with a pulled quad against this very same team. He ended up coming away with a 3-set win, but he hobbled to get it done. Well, this past week, he actually ended up tweaking his back as well. So as soon as he felt like his quad was good, next thing you know, the back is causing some problems. I asked him today what percentage he was at. He told me just about 50% is what he's feeling right now. So watch for some of those jumps and defensive moves and how he handles the pressure in this one.
All right, we'll see how much Miami goes after him as well.
Shambles. Trevor Crabb in shambles. I also don't trust his math skills very much, so we don't know if that's an actual 50%.
AVP Rookie of the Year in 2014. Played for Mayhem last year in AVP League play. He'll try and chip the corner here, and he does just that. How has Trevor become a player capable of raising his level at just the right moment in all those big plays, big time events?
Well, I think he's the rare player who kind of thrives on, whether you want to call it controversy, most of it is of his own making. but he kind of puts himself in positions where he has to back up things he said or kind of situations. Yeah, we got controversy here.
Well, that ball looks to me to be out.
It looked very wide, as a matter of fact.
They clearly rake underneath the cable, underneath the line, in between here. And this is Kame Schulk swinging.
I mean, that is pretty well wide. The only caveat there is if it ticks some rope on the way by, which is possible, but the referee has to see that in real time, because obviously you can't see that if you're just checking the ball mark, which is going to be, I don't know if it's clearly wide, but it looks wide from our vantage point.
Yeah, I can see it. It looks wide to me, but Tony Chan will be the final authority on this one, our R1 for this match.
Fortunately for me, the sand is a neutral color, so I can discern it.
For those that don't know, aren't up on their Rich Lamborn trivia, he is colorblind, ladies and gentlemen. Not even sure how he got here with all the traffic lights.
Yeah, these grayscale jerseys that the Palm Beach Passion are wearing, beautiful.
Serve down the middle, Schulk once again, he'll go backside. And chip over the top, smooth side out. Way to kill off that little controversy in the last point.
Yeah, always important to react well to anything you view as controversial, even though a ball clearly out shouldn't be in the controversy category.
James Shaw back to serve. Shaw comes in with 6 aces, doesn't get one there, but he'll lead on it. And Trevor, you know, the thing about his back tightness injury situation where he's only at a few percent, this is not a guy who typically hits the ball hard.
No. And, you know, I think sometimes it's difficult when you know an opponent is a little bit hobbled. Sometimes you, whether consciously or otherwise, change your tactics, change your approach, and that can be detrimental to your side of the net, because he's kind of playing with a built-in excuse if things don't go his way.
That was maybe the shame of a match that perhaps Miami should have won last time out when both players were hurting a little bit. There you see the skills of James Shaw, the Stanford All-American setter who went on to play professionally in Italy, both at the setter position and at the opposite position, and that is quite an accomplishment in that league.
Yeah, that is wild to have that well-rounded of a skill set.
That ball thrown up to the net beautifully by Phil. He'll return to block here. Schulk working around, this time down the line.
Schulk is a sneaky jumper. This is jumpy sand, as we've heard discussed already a few times. You can see him elevating pretty well and just finding some space around the outside of the Phil Dahlhauser block.
2016 Olympian alongside Ben Saxton. They took a 9th. That was for Canada. He now is eligible for Team USA, and he also owes donuts to everyone inside the Intuit Dome now because he missed a serve without even touching the net. So Kame, better get out that checkbook. Now your daughter Koa is going to be happy. She's a fan of donuts.
Donuts or beer, depending on your age category, I think.
Depends on your purpose the next day. Shaw gets a big fill there. Kame nowhere to go. James misses a chop. Give that point to one Philip Dahlhauser.
Trying to do a little too much with that final swing, I think, Shaw, but I mean, Dahlhauser just fronting those previous offensive attacks very, very well. Miami Mayhem doing a nice job of covering themselves, but Phil just relentless there up at the net.
Schulk still the target, right side. Another nice line swing. Going through the partnership list for Kame Schulk, Ricardo Santos, Triborn, Chase Budinger, Reed Pretty. Quite the list.
It's the beach volleyball social butterfly.
Well, he's been at it for a long time now. 39 years old, the 6'5" man out of Red Deer, Alberta, where he will be in 1 week's time. That ball on 2 from Phil.
Great pass by Trevor, and it is 8.
No, we have hit the technical time outside switch here. 8-6, the lead for Palm Beach in what has been an efficient and smooth open to this match.
All right, so we got some volleyball players. Last time, we had some players. Now, I need more contestants. It's not going to be the exact same thing. You don't necessarily have to be volleyball.
Wednesday at 7 Eastern, We Need to Talk gets up close with the WNBA as Tracy Wolfson and Lisa Leslie break down Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, taking on the reigning WNBA champions, the New York Liberty, right here on CBS Sports Network. Back to our men's matchup between Palm Beach and Miami. This is a rematch that Palm Beach ended up coming out on the top of last time. Let's hear from Cam Schulk about the challenge of playing Phil and Trevor.
Played Palm Beach tonight. It's Phil Dalhouser and Trevor Crabb, and it's a rematch from our match with them in Miami about a month ago, and that was a really close battle. We know these guys really well. They know us really well. It'll be exciting. They're obviously a big physical team. Phil's one of the best players, or the best player of all time probably, and Trevor's a really strong player, so I think there's going to be some heat, and it's going to be a battle, and we'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments we make and then what they make compared to the last time we played. So it'll be fun. I'm excited to play them.
What do you think about that take right there? Phil Dalhouser, best beach volleyball player in the history of beach volleyball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't even know how there's a debate. Obviously, people want to talk about Karch and, you know, some of the stars from the 80s, 90s, St. John and Randy and Hobby Dodd and the like. But I just think the range of skills that Phil has, I mean, he's the best server, the best blocker, the best setter, the best attacker. I don't know how you would argue that anyone was better than he's been throughout his career.
Phil Dalhouser still here. They're announcing that this would be his final season. So the going away tour for the now 45-year-old son of a chef out of Baden, Switzerland originally. Was just in Switzerland with the family, had a beautiful time visiting his home, a little family reunion for him. Took the kids, said it was just an amazing trip. Of course, making his home in Orlando, Florida, and giving back to the game with the Dalhouser Volleyball Academy these days. That is his future. His now is this matchup with Miami. Schulk the target. You want to stay away from Shaw, and that perhaps is why.
Yeah, not a bad idea to go after Kane, but he's been siding out well, and Kane, one of the best receivers of serve I think we have in the entirety of the AVP league.
Schulk now 5 of 9.
Sorry, Kev, he just laid that ball up perfectly for Shaw to go on too.
Yeah, Schulk averaging 2.5 digs per set. Feel like that number could be a little bit higher. Can he pick one up here? His partner with the block initially. Call, reset, and that ball's wide.
Yeah, interesting. Good rejection on the first offering from Shaw to make Phil do it one more time, and he gets just a little bit underneath the second one.
So out of the side switch. Here comes Miami. We're tied. Just a little bit long, no touch called, and that'll be another point for the Mayhem. No, an indication of a touch now from Tony Chan. Late call.
It did appear as though there was a touch real time, but Kame and James went into full salesman mode, trying to pretend as though there wasn't. Yeah, it's ever so slight, but it did get the fingertips.
Very rarely, it does not pay to be 6'8". Very rarely. There, nice touch from Phil, run down by his partner. Chip with the left. Came to the line, that's good.
For me, that's kind of the biggest place we need to look as far as how Trevor's back is impacting his game. He's not looking extremely mobile defensively right now, which isn't necessarily overly problematic unless you get in little side outlets.
Trevor, good pass set in the middle from Phil with the fall down set. If you had that at midway point of the first set, you are a winner. Go ahead and see the cage for your winnings. Phil of the fall down set.
That's the AVP League bingo card.
He wasn't even leaning back that time. Did a sand snake come up and get his left foot? I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, it just becomes kind of a tactical thing. You'd see Karch, the other man at the top of the GOAT debate, do that a lot.
Wanting to get those hands in exactly the right position. Phil setting up his partner.
Really
and setting himself up here. Back set coming his way. Check down and an impossible angle.
He can work the paintbrush as well. That's how vast his skill set is.
Sand defense, paint defense, Phil can do it all. We're not even in the valley.
Yeah, that's kind of a good look at how important placement of your serve is, though, because it was a good serve, but it made Kame go to his sideline side and just kind of overcooked it.
In any case, 11-9, maybe a good break here for Palm Beach in set number 1. Just as it was on the women's side, a tightly contested opening frame. James sees the serve and chops down his own impossible angle.
Yeah, and again, tremendous serve from Phil out wide to James Shaw's sideline this time. He's whooping up the crowd a little bit after that great pass and put away.
James Shaw comes in hitting 420, but you'll be hitting about 1,000 if you can touch it like that.
One of those instances where it's really nice to be 6'8". You said there are a few.
There you go. Phil slaps that one down.
Keeping that lead, that 1-2 lead, 2 points.
So back goes Trevor Crabb to serve off of this set, the one-time Punahou High School basketball player. Played hoops in college first before returning to Long Beach State nearby from 2009 to 2013. Mom and Dad traveling now, watching the brothers play. Brother Taylor, of course, excellence on and in the AVP.
Kame is just in a really nice offensive rhythm, just chopping up Palm Beach Passion seemingly every time.
Well, they're going to need that, as not a lot of teams want to serve James Shaw. Seems like a lot of pressure for Kame Shaw, or a lot of rhythm, as you stated. Phil from his knees, back up, and missed it.
And that's 2 now that we've seen him miss contact, which is rare. He does have the sleeve around the calf, you know, so you wonder if there's a little bit of a diminished explosion out of the sand that he's maybe unaccustomed to.
12-12. That'll keep Shaw at the line. Couldn't get a hold of the last one. Here he does. Oh, but it's wide.
That's interesting. The 2 points that they've gotten off of Phil, the Miami Mayhem, they've immediately gone back to Trevor Crabb, which
is that by design, or is that injury related? What do you think?
I think, you know, that's kind of a byproduct of the respect everyone has for Phil. Like, hey, we got one, let's not push our luck and think we're going to get successive points. But I still think if a person misses, no matter who it is, you got to try them again.
Jump set. Crabb can't handle that heat, and it's 13 apiece.
Now, Phil not biting on the jump set, you know, getting in good blocking position, but Kame just really good aggressive swing.
So who do you serve now? Your Kame Shaw, do you serve Phil right now at 13 apiece?
No, I think you serve Trevor's sideline here.
Okay. Let's see what Kame does. Critical point of this first set. 2 to go, perhaps. Or will we go overtime? Rich Lamborn called it. Crabb put it away. So it'll be set point for Palm Beach.
Well, you know, to be nitpicky on that, it did go Trevor's direction, but it was kind of right in his lap. So especially if you know a guy's hindered, try and make him move more than he's comfortable moving, you know.
Excellent coaching advice, perpetually dissatisfied, Rich Lamborn. Excellent. 14-13. Set point. Crabb goes short. Shaw backs up and swings long. Palm Beach takes the first.
Set number 1 goes to the Palm Beach Passion, 15-13.
As it was on the women's side, closely contested, and Palm Beach with a due-set victory. Set 2. Do we have another sweep on the way?
a high five as the man the Longhorns on. Very nice. All right, next 3 contestants step up. Next 3 contestants step up. We've got 1 guy into the finals. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Dizzy. Get that bat in the ground, you cheaters. Bat in the ground. Bat in the ground, young lady. All right, good enough. No, keep spinning. Not that good enough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Down he goes. Not even close. All right, young lady, back over there. You're in the finals. I'll take that bat. Thanks for the high five. Here we go. Final 3 in our 3rd semifinal. In 3. Wow, that guy looks so good. Let's get him dirty. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, fancy guy. Get that head on the bat, fancy guy. Head on the bat. Oh boy, he's right there. We got 3, 2, 1, whatever, go. Out of nowhere, I wasn't sure what I was going to get from you, but you came in hot. Great job by you. You should have trained a little bit, that's all right. All right, here we go. Down to our finalists. Mr. Palm Beach Passion, our young lady and our Longhorn. Here we go. TV says we got a little bit of time. This is the final round. Final round. It's going to be a little bit longer. What's your name? Jacob. Josh. Give it up for Madeline, Jacob, and Josh, everybody. The Dizzy Bat Finals in 3, 2, 1, spin.
Thursday morning at 2 Eastern. Yeah, you caught it. 2 Eastern. CBS Sports Network serves up more volleyball. Don't miss the USA squad going head-to-head with Turkey in a men's volleyball Nations League battle. They'll be facing off in Japan, hence the time. Looking at a beautiful sunset in LA. You can catch yourself a sunrise on the East Coast when you're watching more volleyball with us here on CBS Sports Network. Everyone enjoying the Intuit Dome here. First ever beach volleyball event inside this $2 billion facility. Palm Beach takes the first set 15-13. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn with Cameron Irwin on the sand. Rich, you've been surfing the stats of set 1, trying to dissect this one. What's jumping out?
Well, hitting percentages, Kev, and there we have a look at it. Those are team numbers. You see Miami looks fairly good at 368, but if we break it down individually, that's Kame Schalk in a great rhythm offensively at 545, and he saw a lot of the serves, but his partner just hitting 125, and he kind of made that final hitting error that gave Palm Beach the win in set number 1. So just kind of an important reminder that a game plan is great, but you got to make real-time adjustments as well. And if you find a player like Kame Schalk who gets in a rhythm, maybe try the other guy, and maybe he'll give you one, as we saw Miami do there for the Palm Beach Passion.
All right, it's Coach Rich Lamborn, worked for a long time with Jake Gibb and one Taylor Crabb. A little bit of advice for Palm Beach here if they're looking for a sweep. Their women already victorious, if you were with us earlier, 15-12, 15-10. And it was a deuce set here in the first, 15-13. Late push. Mayhem trying to go 3, and that's one way to start, is with a big jump serve. Maybe live and die by that skill.
Well, I mean, that's a great serve, and James had quite a few of them in the first set, but that one was not right in Trevor Crabb's lap. Kind of hit that middle zone of the court, had to get Trevor to lunge a little bit, and it kind of jumps off his arms differently.
Shaw, 2 aces, 7 errors the last time these two teams played, so it can get away from him just a little bit.
It is kind of a live by the sword, die by the sword approach that they take, but you do have to be a little bit more vigilant in managing that ratio of aces to errors.
Yeah, when it's not in rhythm. They are serving Shaw, starting out short, and he will get the first side out for the Mayhem in this one, and our first chance to visit with Cameron Irwin.
Yeah, I was able to watch Miami Mayhem just between set 1 and set 2, and Mike Playcheck, their coach, had some definite defensive adjustments. First being that Kame Schalk, they're looking for him to not only be a little bit more shallow in his defense, but also a bit wider on some of those angles against Trevor Crabb. Again, with Trevor Crabb and the injury, you have to imagine there's that dig for Kame. They're going to need to be able to find those defensive plays. Guys, take this one away.
Wow, a ridiculous pair of sets. from James Shaw, and it results in a kill right off of Crab.
It was very close to being in, however, off the chest of Crab. Good stuff. Right on cue, Cam. What a timely report that was, because came positioned perfectly to get that opening dig to start the point-winning rally for the Mayhem.
Man, James Shaw, a couple of beautiful deliveries to his partner, and some adjustments need to be made via Coach Mike Playcheck. James very positive about Mike, saying he's the best coach in America, level-headed and emotionally invested. Pulling Shaw, cannot corral that one with the right mitt.
Yeah, that's so tough. You know, Trevor Crab on the left half of the court, Shaw peeling off on the right side. Crab just able to find the middle. Always difficult to dig when you're in retreat.
Mentioned that this one went 3 last time. It was Miami taking the first set 15-13. Then they would lose 15-13 and 15-10 to the Passion. So we could only be getting started here with this one. That is a beautiful bit of arm work from Schulk.
I love that Phil's not biting on the jump set. We haven't really seen Shaw go on 2 a lot. Even if he does, I don't know that there's a lot of value added by trying to guess whether it's coming or not. Just kind of pick a guy, get in front of him. But Kame's in great rhythm.
Do you think that, unlike perhaps a lot of other players exploring the jump setting side of the game, as Shaw cracks another big jumper, it might be a comfort zone for James? Jump setting indoors forever in his life.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, he looks natural doing that. Right, so there is a comfort level. I think you're contacting it higher, so it's fractional, but you are also increasing the tempo of your offense by nature of that higher contact point. So there's no downside to it, in my opinion.
And Cameron Irwin's been thinking about that. Down the sand as that one goes hubby wife. You take it. No, you take it. No, you. No.
I got it. You take it.
Well, you guys were just talking about the jump setting, and actually some of the biggest adjustments in terms of the offense on the side of the Miami Mayhem is actually on the side of Kane Schulk. I talked to him, and he said it's a little bit like, you know, teaching an old dog new tricks. He's one of the older now with the AVP league, and his partner has really rejuvenated him. He said playing with him has changed my perspective. I'm hungry every day I come to practice, and he's really been able to evolve some of his offensive schemes. He said this is the first time that he's actually been running sets with numbers attached to him, so definitely changing the game for Kane Schulk at this point in his career.
All right, well, it's going to start eating some passing here if they're going to come back. Phil shoves that one right back on top of him. A combination of errors, and now Phil asserting himself at 6'4".
Yeah, that was just tremendous positioning. Have a look at where Phil is here. Down low, solid with that left arm, just straight over into the seam, and came trying to work it around him, not able to do that.
So what was 4-2 for Miami has turned into a deficit here, 6-4, a 4-0 run from Palm Beach.
The Palm Beach Passion taking on the Miami Mayhem right here at the Intuit Dome, the men's matchup. And Phil Dahlhauser, he's known to be one of the greatest of all time. And in regards to beach volleyball history, it's etched in a multitude of ways, whether it's the Manhattan Beach Pier, getting that bronze plaque, or trophies lining the mantle. But for Phil Dahlhauser, you wouldn't believe it. One of the biggest records that's been kept on his terms is actually one that resided on his father's kitchen cabinet. It was on a sticky note, and it was actually in lieu of a loan given to him as he was cutting his teeth on the AVP. They were a little unsure of whether he'd be able to make it or not, and he needed some financial assistance. So lo and behold, his father stepped up, gave him that financial assistance, but he kept it as a running tally on a sticky note. It's safe to say after picking up a gold medal and a few more Olympic berths that, yeah, the sticky note was definitely paid off, guys.
Amazing, reminiscent of Dumb and Dumber. That's a car. You're going to want to hang on to that one.
The running total wasn't bad. Good job, Phil. $2,200. That seems a pretty small price to pay there. Good job, Dad. Phil's dad, a chef, used to do ice sculptures and won some Olympic medals in the chefing world, kind of the equivalent, as Phil put it.
$2,200 and your son becomes the best to ever do it. Pretty good ROI.
Yeah, that's a good point. 6'5", final year for Phil Dahlhauser. He'll be passing things along via the Dahlhauser Volleyball Academy. They're in the process of growing to 6 courts right now. 60 kids a week going through the program. 6 courts will have that being bumped up. Said he started it as kind of a community resource. He chops that one for a win. He wanted to offer kids a chance to learn at a lower price point than club and a lower price point than indoor and just have an opportunity to have fun. But he said the kids and the parents, they want the competition. So what the market wants, what the market demands, the market gets. More courts, and they'll be active in the club scene on the beach side.
Yeah, and it's a great location down there. There's a bunch of restaurants and just kind of a cool vibe surrounding the academy there, so go check it out if you're in the Orlando area.
Yeah, that ball's going to get called right there. Double contact, and things going from close to maybe further away here in the second set. 8-5 side switch. There's a 6-1 run for the Passion and control this set.
Here's a look at the mismangling, as my friend Kevin likes to call it. Kind of slips out of the hands. Got to have simultaneous contact on those overhand sets.
I got that one from Hall of Famer Chris Marlowe or Paul Sunderland. I can't remember which one of the Hall of Famers invented that term, but that is theirs. I'm merely borrowing it. Phil serve, he'll get up to the net. Nice move, good read by Trevor, and it pays off.
That was a well-designed defensive scheme by the Palm Beach Passion. You could see Trevor just sliding in precisely for that shot. Phil kind of bodying up the line, giving Kame the feeling that it was taken away. You can see fully wide of Kame's body there. And Trevor controlling that beautifully for the tap down. I love it when a plan comes together.
Phil Dahlhauser with yet another plan that's working. Shaw, he got him that time.
Yeah. It's one of those things that no matter how much you tell yourself to not bite on it, you just can't help it at times. I mean, you got to credit James for really selling that well. But again, I'm not sure if he's swung at any of those yet, maybe one.
Now be the time for some heroics for James Shaw. Puts Phil down in the sand. He'll go right side, check down, and miss it. Not always the clean ace that does it.
No, that certainly got Phil out of rhythm. He had to hit the sand. He did a nice job tracking that ball off the top of the tape as it changed direction, but then again, just kind of missing that contact up high.
Per your point earlier, see if they go right back to Phil. No, to Trevor. And that scheme works. And it's dug back over for a kill. Dig to points.
File that in the sometimes it's better to be lucky than good category. Came with a great break on that line shot, but kind of overcooked the contact. That surprised the Passion as much as it surprised him perhaps, and they were not ready.
So how about that? 9-8 now, the advantage. Miami on the move. James composes himself. Goes for it. High set to Phil, and he finds it.
And that's great footwork as well by Trevor Crabb to take that set. He had to work hard to get outside of that ball and get it up high for his partner. There's a look at the result. Phil with the hammer crossbody.
10-8, the Passion creep closer to a 2-set sweep and a 4-1 open to their season. Shaw stretches out to take that one and puts it away into the crowd. That's a souvenir, yours to keep.
I think they would like that in writing.
Well, thanks. We'll take it. We appreciate it. Thank you. I was kidding. Don't give it back to me.
Mark Sherman tried to give it away just now, not realizing that would be on his tab. Crabb, a lot of movement on that one. Maybe he's warm now. Schultz got it, but can't get a swing. Crabb once again, middle of the net. Got it.
Just good anticipation running down that shot initially from Trevor Crabb, and then he's so good, especially out of the middle. You know he loves that line. There you see the cut shot. That was the first one. Tracks this one down deep. And then watch him just hold that hand up there until Kane makes the move, and he pops it to the line side.
For a long time, the line was never Trevor, as he failed to win his first AVP Heritage Series event. He eventually obviously would get over that hump and win 4 times alone in Manhattan Beach, as that ball is long from Phil Dalhausser. And he did it by just grinding it out, just reps and control. And you see the amount of control that he has now on his shots. Talking to Trevor about life after volleyball, I said, well, what are you going to do? Well, I've thought about it. I might invest in real estate, but I don't really do that yet. I might do this. I might do something else. He says, but every time I think about it, it stresses me out, so I stop thinking about it.
Nice tattooing up the line for Phil Dalhausser, and just a final note on Trevor. Always amazing when you can take a phrase like never Trevor and turn it into forever Trevor, as he is now enshrined on the pier 4 times over in succession at that.
Yeah, come aliens, zombies, the apocalypse, whatever it may be, that bronze plaque will be there. They'll be pulling that one up from the city of Atlantis sometime.
The cockroaches and Trevor's plaques on the pier will be all that remains.
That's right. 13-10, his record right now. Looking to be stellar to open the season. He and Phil trying to open 4-1 for the Palm Beach Passion. Boy, they would be at 8-2 in the AVP League Cup standings, alongside Mel and Brandy.
You would think all but a lock to make it to Chicago.
Yeah, at this point you would think that. There is a kill. Their next opponent here will be the LA Launch, Smith and Webber. That will be quite the challenge. I wondered if this might be Phil versus the new big man. The next match might be Phil versus maybe the new big man, Logan Webber. A couple of contenders here, trying to knock out the champ.
Well, certainly in either matchup, they're going to be looking at some tough serves in James Shaw and Hagen Smith. Ooh, Shaw all over that, but just a little bit too much angle on those arms, perhaps.
14-11, control by Palm Beach. Another side out, and this will be match ball number 1. Phil back to the line, a little bit long down the middle last time. Phil for the win. Chips it in. Good touch, sets his partner. And he puts it away.
Again, a nice job not biting on the jump set again. Just gets right in front of Kane, gets that good touch, gets the second touch, perfect set. Trevor for the put away. And if you're the Miami Mayhem, you played a great match. You're probably going to lament a couple late hitting errors in both sets that kind of sealed the deal for the Palm Beach Passion, I think.
Palm Beach Passion men last year were 1-7. Currently, the Palm Beach Passion men are 4-1. And they own the most sweeps this year. They have 3. The Dallas Dream on the men's side also with 3.
There's a look at that final put away, and even slightly hindered, even a slightly hindered Trevor Crabb was excellent in defense and particularly in offense. I mean, he was devastating.
Smooth and steady by Trevor Crabb. Another good performance by Phil Dahlhauser and another victory. We will talk to the winners when we return to the Intuit Dome.
Four-time winner. You're a seven-time winner. What brought you two together going into this year?
I think just lucky number 13. That's the goal.
Going from 11 to 13, you feel good about that, Phil?
Yeah, that was one of the motivating factors to get Trevor at 5. I like to tie Karch at 8.
Yes, you could tie Karch Karai at 8 MBOs. It was really fun to see you two team it up. And I know it's a little bit away. You haven't said the G word yet, have you? That word, Trevor?
I think we're past that now. It's the given, you know. The other G word.
If you know, you know. From a guarantee to a given. Give it up for Trevor and Phil, everybody.
A giant question answered. What was the help of Trevor Crabb? Answer, good enough to go with Phil Dahlhauser and win 15-13, 15-11 over Schulk and Shaw for the second consecutive time, and pushing the Passion record now to 8-2 between the men's and women's sides. Let's ask a few more questions of Passion. Here's Cameron Irwin.
All right, guys. Well, I talked to Trevor before this matchup, and he said there had to be more game planning in between points than traditional because of his previous injury. Then he adds on the back injury. How much conversation was happening throughout this match?
Well, we're all a little beat up. Trevor more than me, so I had to be a little more aggressive. But I ended up making a ton of errors because I was being over-aggressive. But Trevor was steady as always, even though he's banged up.
Was that truly 50% out there? I'm thinking it was a little bit more than 50%.
Yeah, maybe a little bit when the adrenaline goes, but yeah, after we got that first set win, I think it bumped up to maybe 70, and we were like, we need to get out of here in 2 and rest up for tomorrow.
Well, probably one of the highlights in this one for you, at least, is I know you love playing against the Miami Mayhem. You told me you love practicing against them. The serve that didn't quite make it to the net. What does Kim Schulk owe you?
At least a 6-pack of beers, or seltzer, or Sun Cruiser iced tea. There we go. Come on, sponsor.
Extra. Well, you guys improved to 4-1 now in league play, and quite a change up from last year for the Palm Beach Passion men in terms of performance. How are you feeling in terms of trying to find that last and final?
I feel great. We're trying to get into that top 2 seed, so we get a bye in the first round there in the championship. And right now we're looking pretty good to do that.
We also told a story about the sticky note on your dad's cabinet, and I said that you absolutely had paid it off. Is that true, though? Did you pay it off?
Yeah, my first AVP win, I bought a new car because my car was broken, and I paid off my debts to my dad, which he kept it in a sticky note in whatever in the cabinet, just to make sure every time I came home, he was like, "You owe me $2,500." I'm like, all right.
All right, well, no doubt paid off, and, just keep earning right here with the AVP League. Congrats, you guys.
Trevor and Phil with another victory. They go to 3-1 now. As we look at the stats through this one, offensively, they carried the day again with that 533 mark.
No paternal debt forgiveness in the Dahlhauser family. Yeah, both sides picked it up in that second set offensively, but it was a couple late hitting errors on the side of the Miami Mayhem that were the difference. Stats can be telling, they can also be a little bit misleading because the timing of kind of when some things happen obviously plays a big role as well. Dahlhauser and Shaw, both in the 100s in set 1, picked their numbers up substantially, but it wasn't quite enough for the Mayhem.
Yeah, we've been discovering just how small the margins are. A couple errors here, a couple errors there. You find yourself losing a deuce set and then going out in 2 in straight sets despite having played some quality volleyball at times. History in real time. Phil Dahlhauser's final year. He's still doing it at a high level. You need to come out and see him this season. We'll be back to LA momentarily.